Hi Sagittarius, if you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. I've made your ink blot. If you want to take a screenshot so you can scry for shapes and symbols that you see, sense, and feel and stand out with your psyche and psychic senses. As always, Sagittarius and wise sages, thank you for holding space for me to share my insights as we empathically explore. And take a moment here to cleanse the palate, releasing the race and the rush, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. All right, Sagittarius, I really want to call you Aquarius, so I don't know if you're working in a lot of water energy or there's lots of outpouring or giving. But okay, well, let's dig in here and see what's going on. If you're new to my channel, I utilize the ink to ignite a meditative state, and then I scry the auric energy of the collective energy and share what I see, sense, and feel. Oh, there's some sort of like water crown going on. I don't know if there's been... Okay, it's almost like there's like not two minds about something, but there might be like an idea, and I'm not sure if it's something that I'm emotionally attached to yet. Like I'm still up here wondering about it. Let's try this, Aquarius, see if that works for you. Like up here, like there's something, but there's this cycloptic kind of feel that's a keyhole. So whenever or whatever an idea may be that you're going to decide is worth turning the key, maybe it's a new home, something about abroad, studying abroad is also coming through. But it's like right up here, and it's like, you have a lot of strength going towards it, but it's like, I get the sensation in the sages. It's like, it's all up here. I got it. It's all up here. It's that very peculiar feeling. I'm seeing either witches or like a genie in a bottle kind of wisping out from just below the ears. Like maybe if there's been some TMJ or like lockjaw or just clenching going on. And this simply, like I'm trying to, because I'm seeing like a very small set of eyes like look sideways. And I don't know if this is in regards to that idea. So you're looking at things a little differently or observing for opportunities and like little messages and symbols. And I don't mean little in their meaning, but in the synchronicities of it, right? It's like, okay. It's a genie, and I'm actually seeing it very clearly now as the genie. Excuse me, I'm a little stuffy today. From Aladdin, the cartoon. And what's that? Oh, he's passed on now, the actor that is his voice. But I can hear the song. Da-da-da. You know what I mean? Like it's a very playful energy. It's something in here, like it, but it's intense. Something. Okay, I'm moving down. Something about a cowl neck or turtleneck, but it's definitely more cowl neck. I wonder if this is like some sort of emotional, and it's feeling emotional because there feels like something I'm thinking about, and that's the interesting part. And yet I haven't quite decided how I feel about it. Now, whether this is in a Sagittarius personal, individual to collective energy. But I'm seeing this idea or thought or concept that once the cycloptic key is turned, it's like collarbone serpents come out and the mind reaches down and they connect. And it's like zzz. Then I can hear like this, and maybe that's why there's something about, okay, like the thoughts are like electricity, and the water being some sort of conduit. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like getting the mind and the heart aligned on something, and then once they do, it plugs in and creates a full current. That's what that feels like. But I still haven't discerned and decided how I, as Steph sitting here observing, feel about it. So perhaps that's still in the air. But once you do, it all clicks into place. There's also like might be stuff here in the chest and under the armpits. I don't know if there's like stuff that maybe you're working through, Sages. And I don't mean in that you're working through. It's almost like before you can make this, I'm going to say new connection, but maybe it's like birthing something old. It's almost like airing some few things out, getting some stank off you. I don't know if you felt like you've had some, maybe energy vampires. We don't need to be dramatic about it. I always like the sage energy. It feels very to the point, but there's this grace about it. Like, I want to be fiery, but I don't want to be a flamethrower. There's a wisdom around, especially when I'm in your water element of your sign. I understand, but when you're working, or how I'm sensing abstractly, that there's a lot of water. It's almost as if something in the sage's awareness is worth deep thinking, deep feeling, side to side. And I see that cat clock that turns its eyes side to side, because there's something about timing and divine timing. What is that little creature in there? I don't know if that's a moth or a mothman. There's something, let's just say, in your deep introspection right here. I'm going to bring it up close so you can, well, that didn't really work out, but good intention. It's like there's a light within you. It's kind of like a flasher, like right when that connection happens and the electricity is turned on, heart and mind are creating this current. Then in root, solar plex, possibly even the solar. Yeah, not so much the sacral, in the solar. It lights up with white light. This is also bringing me into a space, if I'm in the waters of the wisdom of Sagittarius, there could be in the whole airing out something about forgiveness that you're working through. Because I'm hearing, I'm not carrying this to the next phase, over the threshold. Interesting. There's some sort of a guardianship happening around you as well in the energy sages. And it's stemming from this, whatever this forgiveness or purity of light. Yeah, it feels like almost like Chinese dragons. That's exactly what I'm seeing, is Chinese dragons, most specifically. My speech is all discombobulated. That's like how deep I am in here. And there's something in regards to these Chinese dragons that are very protective, and I don't know what their actual symbology means, so if that stands out, maybe it's something you want to look into. but I can hear like I can see their mouth open, but they're not saying anything yet. Like they're waiting. They're just waiting. And there's these wonderful little creatures that are holding up like a stand. Like if I was looking at something precious, and it was on display. And I feel like the Sagittarius energy is on display. Yeah, on display. It's a very interesting feeling. Maybe, I don't know if maybe if you, or a portion of you are public speakers, socially, like the dominant one. And maybe that's what some of the airing out is in the social circles, purifying the people around you. Maybe you've outgrown a few people. We're here. Oh, we're going here. I flipped it to win it. Sages, I'm going to keep on going here. Thank you so much for joining me. And I feel very honored to be in some of the depths of Sagittarius energy. Okay, there's a koala bear, if that symbology stands out for anyone. And that's... kind of brings me into, and I heard it as soon as I said it, looks passive. And I don't actually know if koala bears are passive or aggressive, but I think that's just the symbology that's coming through for me to say passive aggressive. If the purifying and filtering of your energy, no. Because again, it's like this, I'm emotionally attached, but I don't want to be, or I'm considering, plugging in for a new phase or a new cycle, but I got to clean up, like putting electrical tape on frayed wires before, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if there might be some passive aggressive energy around you. And there's like a, no, no. Coming apart. That's what that feels like. And this koala coming apart. Again, I feel like there's something about koala that may stand out for somebody. Could be a spirit animal. But for me, it brought me into the passive aggressiveness. And I don't know why, but I'm grateful for the understanding. So there might be somebody or a few people you might be cutting ties with. And it's almost like there's a detox around it. And I don't know if they're waiting for you. Like this feels like the whole Sagittarius, like you're on display. Like storm fields. Yeah, this kind of is like the coloring of, okay, well, let's not share for this moment. It's kind of the same coloring. Or there is something that has happened with someone, person, place, or thing. Now, whether that's personal, professional, of course, is creative or corporate. And you're like, no, I'm not. It's almost like I can see if somebody wanted to not put you, but maybe they plopped you in their psychology, right? In a version of you that you've well outgrown. And Sagittarius are what I've come to understand, and also being on a cusp of Sag. So there's an excitement about Sagittarius energy, right? And when one's excited, you can follow that excitement. And on the flip side, if someone causes or continuously causes emptiness through like that passive aggressivity, yeah, the sages are going to be like, I'm not waiting for the storm. I'll create the storm to clear this. But I feel like someone's waiting on you. Like they're just watching. Like if you settle for them, they might be perfectly fine with that. don't know, very much so on display. Maybe this is what all this Aquarian energy is coming through. It's almost like something about the new year coming up to that age of Aquarius, and it's like I would like to have this cleaned up or in motion in my season, so when I come into Aquarius season, it'll be done. One ring circus and home. The one ring circus reminds me of the excitement. It's just an exciting energy, even though I'm getting the impression that I'm amidst some deep stuff, but it's meaningful. And it's almost like there's this secret side to Sagittarius that where if one may think, sages are wise and they're very serious and silly, there's like still another level and another level, and there's hidden doors to stuff. Yeah, like there's all these different levels. And the hidden doors of what is really meaningful to you, what is really held in your home of your heart. You're cleaning house, sages. Cleaning house is what it feels like. And that's not to say that there's not some... I just heard that word, extermination? Get ready, clearing. Wow, it's very powerful though. And that whole genie in a bottle, you're able to do it with flair. You're able to do it with flair. What else do we have here for Sagittarius? Whew. It's odd, like as I'm observing this energy, sages, it's like it's that serious and silly coming in at the same time. Like it's almost like you can navigate some serious emotions with... Oh no, that's my other card. Okay. With lightness, and maybe that's if you're not feeling that way, if a portion of the Sagittarius energy isn't feeling that way, Lady of Sorrows, if the sorrow is coming through more, it's almost like, remember, you can be your own genie and kind of open the bottle to lighten up a little bit as you're moving through this, as you're purifying. Because you're not messing around. You're not messing around. Mindful of those who try and throw stones. And I want to know, like, the sensation is that it's because your energy, your personality, your dreams, your wants, your desires are, I'm coming back to that, like, on display. It's admired, right? And because it's admired, you have both friends and foes. And if anyone tries to play the in-between, like both sides, with that passive aggressivity, you're like, you're onto it. All right, we're here for the sages. Whoa. I'm seeing ducks, but they're like horns. I think they're like for hunting. Like a duck call. Like a duck call. That's what that feels like. And they help you out, like Duck Hunt from Mario Brothers, like Duck Hunt, like traditional, like fun-looking ducks, and that symbology as well may mean something to you. Queen of the Owls, Queen of Bedlam, and the Elven Knight. Okay. This is that frequency I was talking about earlier. The cycloptic keyhole, putting your mind and heart into alignment. Because I feel like there might have been somebody trying to, like, you know, when you're trying to plug something in at nighttime and you're like trying to find the plug. It's like somebody was messing with you a little bit because they know as soon as this happens, it's almost like you'll be out of reach, or your stardom will take the next level and they might feel left out in the cold, something along that lines. Maybe you can resonate with that, but you're going to plug in one way or the other. And then you're double queening up with wisdom, which we've talked about already. And it's almost like that's the Queen of Bedlam. Like, self-adoration and realizing, okay, like, see all the, I don't know if the lighting will allow that to happen. Okay. She is like what we were talking about, like sages, you're just on display. You are this precious piece of art. You're admirable and admirable. And I think I said the same word 2 different ways. That's fine. And people will want to like come and present you with things. Like, that's where you're going. That's, if not already there, working towards. There's protection with the unicorn. Could be a Capricorn around you. Could be your spirit animal. Or an energy that you use. It's that whole night thing. Once you plug in. And I just got to say, like, mind your circle. If you haven't already, mind your circle. Mind your circle. I don't know. That's the advice coming in. All right, we're closing out for Sages. Thank you so much for joining me. Like, share, subscribe, of course. And links below to help a gal grow. If you're interested in being my muse for your own rorschach. Okay. I hear ya. Closing out here for Sagittarius. We have connectivity, curiosity, joyful inspiration, and getting back to integrity with the lost compass. Bullseye. This, I don't get the impression that you were actually lost, but your ink blot is very highly intuitive and emotional. Like, you are looking at this aspect with a lot of strength. But it's almost like that whole saying, you know, truth seekers. And when you start looking for that to align with things, it doesn't mean we're always going to enjoy the truths we find. There could be some disappointments in people, places, or things. But I kind of feel like there might have been already like an air of it. And if, I don't know, specifically if somebody's been passive aggressive with you. So your connectivity into all of this. It's almost as if when you maybe let other people know that you're catching on, or maybe you don't and you just slowly fade away. They're like, oh, that was really curious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not even sure if the sages are going to try to over nurture the reasons why. Because this is that genie in a bottle feel. The curiosity of not only connectivity, but like manifesting. And the elements that the sages are working with are being cleansed and cleared out. Any storms, goodbye. And that's because joyful muse is in here. There's, again, on display. Maybe some of you work in the arts or in a position, again, that is very social and you're observed a lot. So there could even just be a lot of projections at you, towards you. And I don't know, I keep getting this sensation that someone's like, oh, that was such a great job. And really they're envious, or really they're jealous, or they don't really believe in you, but they want to keep you in their circle because they see you growing. They see you being seen more. You know what I'm saying? But you're somebody, and you're, again, It feels joyful. This is what you're working towards. Your joy. What's in your heart and mind. And when you paint that picture in your imagination and you decide to connect the dots, Genie, you are magic. All right, Sages, I'm going to leave it here as I've rambled on, taken up way too much of your time. I appreciate your awesome awareness and attention. Thank you. And until next time, thank you for scrying with me.